Great day, great day. This is Tammy J with the Texture of Me. Welcome to the show. Our show provides a place where people can voice their experiences and having dealt with discrimination because of the texture of their hair. Great day, great day. Thank you so much and welcome to the Texture of Me. I am so excited to be here. It's been a while and we're here today. And we have the awesome pleasure of having Dr. Tamika Ellington on our show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for the invitation, Tammy. I'm
Oh,
looking
you're
forward
so
to it.
welcome. You know, when I think of what you're up to and the things that you've been accomplishing, it's so inspiring, Tamika. I am just, and then is it okay, Dr. Tamika? Tamika?
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Dr.
Okay.
Tamika, fine.
And because I'm all about, hey, you the doctor, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes. And just what you're up to, Dr. Tamika Ellington Enterprises, you have the personal, professional, and spiritual wellness company.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you are a fashion scholar, awarded fashion scholar, okay? Because it's all about the fashion,
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
and I really appreciate that you're you know, internationally acclaimed speaker. So you
Yeah.
speak a lot. And so you're putting the word out there, you
Yeah.
know? And for me in this work as well, it's like I hear giving voice to the voiceless
Yes. Yeah.
and being able to speak on all of our behalves.
Yeah.
And one of the things that really inspired me about you is your book called Textures.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
right? The texture,
Yes.
me textures. I love
Yes.
that. And this book, The Black Hair in White World, is that out yet? Because I know it's supposed to be coming out or
Yeah, it'll be out in July. It's actually, Tammy, it is going to be released on Crown Act Day.
oh wow.
Yes, which is July 3rd. Yes, so the book will be released on Crown
Wow.
Act Day.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so excited. I
Yes,
can't wait to read it. Oh my gosh. You all make sure you get the book. Okay.
thank
Got to get the
you.
book.
Yes, yes.
The work that you're doing, and just the contribution that you are in the world and making a difference and how we see beauty.
Yeah,
Gosh, I'm so grateful. I thank you for the work that you're doing.
thank you. Only thing I want to do is just be a vessel
Mm,
and be a representation of the humanness of our beauty as Black people,
yes,
because our beauty gets taken for granted in so many ways. And
yes,
so if I can just be a vessel to help us even see, because many of us don't see
that
our
part,
beauty. We
that,
don't.
that,
We cover up, we wear some mask, to make other people feel comfortable with us. And I just want to bring forth the humanness in Black beauty.
mm. Man, you just said that right there was a lot said. Okay.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
we'll talk about it on another show because that
Yes.
that was delicious. That was juicy,
Mhm.
delicious, and so moving for me. Yeah. It's funny because being in the psychology background, it's funny as I listen, I could hear so many different things. And when you said that, I was like, boom, boom. I was like, wow, that's some great topics.
Mhm.
So I look
Mhm.
forward to having you on our show again. We can talk about that. And we're just beginning the show,
Absolutely.
y'all. So
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
excited. Yes, yes. So one of the things I do like also, starting off with is having you share your natural hair journey. Like, what was that like for you?
I have actually been natural for a long time. Before becoming natural was popular.
Okay.
Um, I started my journey in 98.
Okay.
I was an undergraduate student at Kent State University, and I had gotten to a point in my life where I was just tired of putting the perms in my hair.
Mm,
I was tired of spending the money, sitting in the salon. I just wanted to just be me,
mm,
and
mm,
I felt like I wasn't being me by doing that. And so I did a big chop. I went to a salon owner. Her name is, and she's in Cleveland, Barbara Boyd. She's a natural hair stylist and has been doing so for many years.
mm,
And she's a friend of, I'm really good friends with her cousin.
mm,
And I went to her and I said, just cut it all off. And
mm,
she was like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Yep, just cut it all off." She
Mm,
cut off all my hair. My hair was probably about this long. She cut it all off, and I cried that first day.
mm,
But what was interesting, what I needed to, what I, and plus because I was young still, I was just like maybe 22, I was young, didn't have a family yet, wasn't married. And the first thing, like as soon as I cut my hair off, I was like, oh my God, am I going to be able to find a date?
wow.
Am I going to be able to find a date?
Wow.
And as soon as I came out of the beauty salon, this older gentleman hit on me.
Wow. Wow.
And that was my and that was my confirmation that I needed, that I am still beautiful,
Yeah.
but I ever since I made that choice to go natural in 98, I haven't had any kind of straightener in my hair ever since. So I have worn just like a, what they call TWA, tiny, teeny weeny afro. I've worn that for many years. I actually had locks for a long time. I wore locks for probably, I did it on two different occasions. So I would say it was probably a total of about 18 years that I
Wow.
wore locks.
Wow.
At one point, my locks were very, very long.
Yes, 18 years.
And yeah, yeah. So I wore locks for a long time, and then decided to go back to a tiny afro because it's just so easy to do. I can just wash my hair and just go. And one thing that I can say, and this is for the women that are listening that might be even thinking about going natural, and if you are in the dating market, because I do talk a lot about this and how we are impacted when we decide to wear our natural hair. It takes us, in many ways, it alters our dating pool.
Mm, wow.
Okay. It alters our dating pool. And so, what it has done for me is, in many ways, it's helped me to navigate around people who would not necessarily be for me anyway.
Mm, gotcha. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It's still, you still have to tell yourself on a daily basis that you're beautiful, and you have to appreciate, because society keeps telling us different things. Society keeps showing us the opposite,
Mm,
right? It keeps showing us all the wig and the this and that or whatever, and we have to constantly remind ourselves that our authenticity is beauty enough.
mm.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love that I mean, you're dropping gems left and right. Oh my God. So good. Just topics after topics. I just love it. You know, I love the fact that you decided to do it, but the fact that when you questioned if you were gonna have a date, you were, and the thing that you said, I decided to choose to be me.
Hmm.
And then you get your hair cut, and then it's like, oh, am I gonna have a date? That's that part where I, emphasize people with the psychological impact that
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not somewhere in our hair natural. Because I
absolutely.
remember when I cut mine, the first time I cried. The second time I was okay because I knew how I was gonna have it.
Yeah,
It was still, I felt like a release, but still wanting to hold on.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. How do you feel like, elaborate more, like how did it impact you mentally?
You know what? I'll say a couple things. Now, when it comes to my self-esteem and things like that, I honestly believe, I actually did a research study about this. And it's that particular study is in my book, Black Hair in a White World.
Mhm.
And I have come to understand about myself and about other women that I've spoken to, that in order to be comfortable wearing your hair natural, you have to have a higher level of self-esteem than most people do, because the world is going to constantly tell you that the way that you look is not good enough. And so, me wearing my hair natural has given me also to a self-esteem that I didn't necessarily know that I had. It's given me a confidence that I didn't know I had. I had the opportunity to go to Ghana a couple years ago, and that totally changed my experience as well about what beauty is and what it means to be someone who looks like me, dark skinned girl with kinky hair, and the beauty in that, and being able to just be in a space where everybody looks like you. I mean, there's nothing like it. And so it gave me an extra boost of confidence
Mm-hmm.
about the way that I look. But what I will say, I just had an amazing conversation on my podcast. I have a podcast called the Black Beauty Activist
Mm-hmm.
podcast, and I interviewed a lady by the name of Diane C. Bailey.
Okay.
And Diane is a stylist, and she made a comment that was so impactful to me. She was saying that she said, 1 in 2 Black women at some point in their life have had hair loss.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started experiencing it, I actually experienced hair loss probably about about almost 10 years ago now. And it was due to stress. I was working in an environment where I was outcast. I was working in an environment, a predominantly white environment that was very unwelcoming. I was very stressed out at work, just having my second baby, and all of that stress ended up taking my hair out.
Yeah.
And so, one of the things that I also had to understand about me on this journey of being someone who lives with hair loss, is that I also have to just love that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a struggle. That has really been a struggle because, you know, you when you are someone who lives with hair loss, the last thing you want is for people to be staring at you, or to feel insecure in yourself. And so I had to get to a point where I was like, you know what, if I lose any more hair, I'm just going to shave it all off, and I'm going to put a beautiful tattoo on my head. That's what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to get to that point where I was going to be okay with if more hair, was to come out, and being okay, and being um knowing that my beauty is not necessarily tied to my hair. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and saying a lot there too. I just love it. When you speak just so much information and valuable information. So thank you for that. But I also heard that I so really resonate with when you said, you discovered a level of beauty that you didn't even know existed for yourself, and even a level of confidence, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that I speak on that a lot with my natural hair journey when I decided to go natural. And I remember like it was yesterday where I saw this picture someone sent because we're upstate, and I looked at that picture because I want you to know I wasn't even looking at myself in the mirror when I was wearing my hair natural. Oh
Really.
no. I gazed in the mirror just enough to put a little makeup, but
Mm.
when you look at yourself in the mirror and really look, oh, I wasn't doing that. No,
Wow.
that's how I was resistant to seeing myself like this, right?
Wow. Wow.
And then I looked at the picture and I said, "Is that my hair?" I said, "Oh my God!" I said, "Oh man!" After that, then I fell in love with myself in a way that I didn't even know was missing.
Mm.
I was like, "Oh my God! Oh, you can't tell me!" I was, "Oh oh, wow."
Yes.
That's when I could start looking at myself more.
Yeah.
Even through that journey, that's when I knew I had some psychological things going on within myself
Yes.
that was the impact. How am I just go? I'm looking in the mirror, brushing my teeth, but I'm not looking at myself.
Mm. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Even beyond that, I mean, and I'm sure you know this, that beyond the issue, like the topic of hair, many people don't look at themselves in the mirror.
Yes.
Many people don't.
Yes.
They really don't. And that's why, like, when we talk about things, before we started our interview, we were talking about manifestation and that kind of thing. And that's why, when you are looking to manifest something and being able to do what they call mirror work,
Right.
where you look at yourself in the mirror and you proclaim certain things to yourself, is such an important thing to be able to do, because a lot of people don't like taking pictures.
Mm.
People don't want to see themselves in a photo. They don't want to see themselves in the mirror.
Yeah.
And to me, that's just it's a representation of self-hate in some way.
Yeah. Most definitely lack of self-love for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When I think about my son, he does, photography. His name Ad Tricks. I'll put him out here.
Yes.
He I remember first getting into photography, and this is just a little extra that I wanted to add. And when it came to take pictures, I'm like, oh, I got a cute outfit. I'm like, she ready? He said, Mom, you can't just be randomly want to take pictures and photo shit because you think you look cute. Yeah, that level of just really that self-love and just loving the skin that we're in,
Hmm.
and just all of it in our hair. And that's who we are. And I love
Yeah,
what you say. It was like when you wanted just to be you,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and here being you is considered an outcast to a world. And that's like,
Hmm.
no, being our individual self is so beautiful. And I
Yeah,
have to say, Tamika, that's really why I love the whole thing of embracing our naturalness, because it's unique. No one could be that way. It's unique. I always tell people there's no one better than you, no one worse than you. There's just you. There's no
yeah,
one prettier than you, no one ugly. It's just you. And then when you get
yeah,
that, it's just me or it's just you. Wow.
yeah, yeah. There's no comparison with
No,
anybody. No
no,
competition. Yeah, yeah,
no.
yeah,
And when I had to wear my hair straight, man, I just see how I'll be like, oh, I wonder if it's straight enough, you
mm-hmm.
know, or then if we weren't doing the relaxers, if it's humid outside, oh, and there's a party going on or somewhere I'm invited, oh, I ain't going. We ain't gonna go because
Wow. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and not even talking about like people don't work out, they don't exercise because of their
Yes.
hair.
Yeah. Our quality of life is oftentimes very shifted because we decide what we want to do with our hair. A lot of women, Black people anyway, a lot
Right,
of us don't know how to swim, because what's been like what happened in history with us not, first of all, not being allowed to even go to the pools, right?
right,
And then when you put on top of that all the chemicals that we were putting in our hair,
yeah,
it deterred a lot of us from getting in the pool. And I
yeah.
still to this day, as a 46-year-old woman, I still don't know how to swim. But yeah, it's interesting how our quality of life, like how much our hair impacts our quality of life.
That
And
part.
that was another reason why like going natural was so important for me, is because I wanted a better quality of life.
Mm. Thank you all for enjoying the show. The Texture of Me is proud and excited to announce the first ever Textured Hair approved CE credits. You can find it at thetextureofme.com/education. When it's time to renew, you know what to do. Again, thank you so much for your support and continue enjoying the show.
Hmm.
I mean, we sleep longer because I tell people they're like, my hair started like a week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're like, I say, yeah, because I have, because I'm still in the salon and I have clients. It's like, this is about a week done. I'm like, really? What do you do? People still are lacking the education about their hair. And
Yeah.
that's why I've created the Texture of Me to help people to be educated. It
Yeah.
really, texture hair is so simple to manage, take care of. It really is. But and it's what happens is that we haven't been taught. We've been taught just to do the straight stuff. And that seems so much easier. And it's not, you know? So
Oh, can I mention something about
yes,
that?
yes.
Um, I've had on multiple occasions people tell me that they can't go natural because it takes too much time. It takes too much time to do our hair. And really what takes time is the fact that we're trying to do our natural hair in a manipulated way.
That part.
Okay.
Yes.
So, we're doing all of these things like the wash treatment and all this stuff and then the twisting and all these
Right.
things, we're even though we're natural, we're still altering the
Yes.
curl of our hair. And
Right.
so it takes a little while
Yeah.
to do that.
And thank you for acknowledging that because I was in a class and I'm not gonna say the class they were like we're teaching about curly hair and all that kind of stuff. And the owner of the salon was like, come on, I want you to come. You're gonna, get a lot out of it. And I, my, my, I'm not gonna lie. And so my ego just popped up like, what? I'm gonna get on. And I was like, you know what? Don't be like that, Tammy.
Yeah.
Just go, and so I went and, I saw the young lady and I was just like, got a chance to introduce ourselves. And Tamika stood up because that's how I do when I get to events. I stand up and, hey, I'm Tammy Jolivette. Nice to meet you. And I had to say, I said, look, I'm a master when it comes to texture here. I am. I really know so much, And what I said to her is, I don't know everything. So
Yeah.
I laid it out like that. And so it was funny because she remembered me because we did like education, hair education in another arena. And I'm glad I did that instead of being on my high horse or like knowing it all. And I'm sharing this story because then it got to the point where we were doing the class and they were doing manipulating styles on the hair. And I'm like, that ain't doing natural hair. What is that? I mean, and you can see the curls. It was like, well, do around your finger. And not that anything wrong with it, but what, people think that I do twist out on my hair. I'm like, no, I hydrate, shampoo, condition, and style my hair. And this is how it comes out. Like your hair can do that too.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's funny because I've had clients come to me and, or say, hey, do you do all that? I'm like, nope, I don't do none of that. Can I? Yes. And I don't have anything against it. But what would it be like to just wear your hair the way that it is?
Yeah. Without all the manipulation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all manipulations, So I totally thank you for sharing that because you're right. It's because they're trying to manipulate it, have it to look still close to being straight. You
Mm-hmm.
know?
Yeah.
Even though when I look at my hair and I was looking at some old pictures and how my hair was shorter and now, it's grown and stuff. And I'm not even attached to the length stuff no more, being natural.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, because like, oh, I need it to be long. And I remember when I first chopped it, that's why I had to do a second chop because I was flat ironing, because it needed to be
Ah,
long.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was natural, but it had to look long because baby, I couldn't do I can't do the tiny afro. I was not wanting to be there, you know? And but then when I did the second chop, I was like, no, I'm gonna stick through this because I was like, I'm a hairstylist. I'll be able to change it up if I need to. Or I could throw on a wig or something. Let me
Yeah. Yeah.
see what this journey is. And then, I give credit to one of my clients who actually she was the one who called me out and she says, why you don't wear your hair natural?
Wow. Well, I'm gonna put some headphones on. There's
Okay.
people outside where I live they're cutting grass or something. So I don't want to disrupt everything. So I'm gonna put some headphones on.
Oh, no worries, no worries. Yeah, so just really acknowledging when it was for me to see that when my client acknowledged and say, why are you not wearing your hair natural?
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, why don't you stay in your own lane? That's what I said. but, but really it opened the door for me to see that why am I not?
Mm-hmm.
And then when my, clients were going through their journey, I could understand it more because when I was going through mine.
Absolutely.
Now,
Absolutely.
when people come in and they're new to embracing their natural hair, oh, I can tell you what to do or not to do. I know because I've
Mm-hmm.
been there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting when people call us to the carpet and make us look at ourselves.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
love the way that you really emphasize how, beauty and mental health go hand in hand.
It does. Yeah.
And then
It
here's
does.
the level of our self beauty, which is our natural beauty
Mm-hmm.
that is being viewed not as beautiful, not professional.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Yeah. And one of the things that's hard for me is when I see the over manipulation that we do, trying to fit into an aesthetic that we never will truly fit into,
That part.
um, you know, and it just, and another thing that's hard for me is when our people don't want to hear. They don't want to hear it. Like when I first started my business, so I'm actually a former academic. So I taught at a university. I taught fashion design at a university for several years. And before I decided that it was time for me to leave to go off on my own, and I started my business, I started it working with students and being a motivational empowerment speaker for students. And I had somebody call me to the carpet. One of my mentors called me to the carpet and told me that I was not living in my purpose. And basically, what she was saying was that I had all of this knowledge about black hair because while I was working as an academic, I've been studying black hair and beauty for years. And I started that journey back in 2002 when I was a master's student. And so from that time up till now, I've been working and studying black hair. And she was like, "Why aren't you using black beauty and black hair as your speaking platform?" And
Mm.
I told her, I said, "Well, I just love students." She was like, "Yes, I understand you love students." She said, "But that's not your purpose. You weren't purposed for that. Just because, just because you have all of this knowledge, um, you can't just throw that away. This is something that you've been gifted with. You have to use that, as what your message that you bring to the world." And I told her, I said, "I'm scared to do that because people don't want to hear what I have to say. People don't want to hear the truth, and I was frightened to step, like, to really and truly step into it. And so I actually called another mentor of mine. He's actually a Ghanaian chief. I called him up and I said, I had another mentor of mine call me to the carpet and she told me I wasn't living in my purpose. I said, "I know that she's right, but I'm afraid of people thinking about me as a radicalist."
Mhm. Yeah.
And so, right. And so my mentor was like, "You're already a radicalist. Like, you already are radical." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He was like, "You're radical." He was like, "Think about all the things that you've done." He's like, "You're just an undercover radical.
Oh.
You just haven't announced it yet." He
Mhm.
was like, "It's time for you to announce that."
Mhm.
And
Wow.
so that's what made me decide to eventually make that shift.
Mm.
Um, this is still such a controversial topic.
Mm.
When we talk about black hair, it's still so controversial. There's still such a divide
Mm.
amongst us as black people when we think about our authentic selves, what beauty is supposed to look like. There's still such a divide, and I was scared to jump into that. I really was.
And I think about that too, Tanika, because so was I. When I
Mhm.
decided I wanted to,
Mhm.
it's like
Mhm.
it was so controversial because it was like me talking about the lack of textured hair education in the
Yeah.
cosmetology industry, in the beauty industry. And I
Mhm.
saw it, and I remember it was, with the whole pandemic going on. I was like, ooh, because I'm normally quote unquote the positive person, right? I don't,
Mhm.
but I'm like, no, but it's here, you know. We got to do something, I can't just sit
Mhm.
here and I know.
Yeah.
And still today, we're still just now getting some type of, this company just now talking about textured hair, and they just know what they know. I'm not gonna say they don't know nothing, but I am saying that. Anyhow, it's the point where this is why I see the education that I provide of so much value. And
Yeah.
the point that I'm getting at still, how long has this industry been around? And I know it's a $1 billion industry that we're not even taught that in cosmetology school. First
Mhm.
thing they teach is how to straighten it.
Yeah.
Somebody know how to do a relaxer before they know how to do it natural.
Mhm.
And in all truth, that's a level of segregation.
Absolutely. It
Yeah,
is.
because then if I mean, I'm not gonna go somewhere and I don't think nobody knows how to do my hair. Let's
Right. Right.
and if I go in somewhere where I know they don't know and they're like, we don't do your hair, we don't do your type, we don't do all that. And so it's just when I start seeing the whole picture of it all, I'm like, you know what? If not me, then who? If not now, then when?
Mhm.
And I was like, I'll
Mhm.
be that voice,
Yeah.
And it's been a journey. And it's funny because as I shared, I went to a hair show and, it was more of the other races there, and however, people really were excited about the work that the texture of me is doing.
Mm.
And it was like, wow, we're so glad to see this because people know it's just about diversity. And in truth, though, Tamika, almost 70% of women, and this is just women, 70 have some type of textured hair, and that's keep
Mhm.
curling wavy. And
Yeah.
it's like so many. And then I just be honest, it's not a black thing, it's
Yeah. Yeah. It's
so
a people thing. It's a
yes,
people thing.
it's a
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
thing.
Mhm. Because I mean, when we think about our Indian brothers and sisters, a lot of them are doing some of the same things that we're doing. They're straightening their hair with chemicals and they're lightening their skin.
Mm, yeah. I mean, Asian culture too, because you got people
Yeah.
who actually have curly hair and they don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, I get clients where their hair, when they were younger, it was straight, now it's curling. I'm like, what to do? I don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a natural beauty and it's a self-love that we get to embrace if we choose to. I'm not here to make people do anything.
Yeah, yeah. And I say that too, that I'm not here to convert. I'm
Mm,
here to educate people.
yeah,
That's what I'm here to do.
yeah.
And
And then,
you make up your mind about what you want to do.
yeah, then
Hmm.
then we have choice now.
Yeah, yeah.
Before then we didn't have any choice.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
really love the fact that how you mentioned about that in this work, the most people who tend to be oblivious to this is us. And even some.
Oh, I'm about, okay. I'm working with World Bright magazine right now, and I'm going to be writing an article for them. And I'm going to be talking about this information that just came out about the reaction to Simone Biles' hair for her wedding. I don't know if you saw that or not. So, Simone Biles had some interesting comments long time ago that people were saying about her hair, right? Well, now when she got married, they were trying to say that her edges weren't slick enough,
Mm,
for her wedding.
mm,
That you would think that, on her wedding day that her edges would be sleeker.
mm,
She's an African American woman.
yeah.
We're not supposed to have sleek edges.
Mm, wow.
Why do we do this to ourselves? And as it wasn't no white women talking about the fact that her hair what her edges weren't sleek enough. It was us.
Yes.
We were the ones talking about that.
Wow. And it's like the point is not her edges, it's her wedding and how beautiful she looks.
Right.
Look, we got some work to do.
We do. We really and truly do. We
And
really and truly do.
and it starts with us,
Yes, yes,
creating
yes, it does.
a legacy in this work. And so just thank you for partnering up with me, partnering with
Absolutely.
all of us, because I know we have a collective of other people we know
Yes.
that are in this work. And it's
Yes.
taking that and much more.
Yeah.
And it's really great that we are willing to be the voice for the voiceless,
Hmm.
a radicalist.
Yeah. Yeah.
We just
Yeah.
like put it on, just wear it. Why not? We've been it,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
through our own personal journeys and we know what it's like and we're here to make that difference. So
Yeah. Absolutely.
yeah. Is there anything you want to say before we complete the podcast? You know you're coming back though, because you got
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
yes.
I just want to thank you for this space. And, as you said, collectively, all of us, all the work that we're doing will hopefully will begin to really see transition. There's, like you said, there's enough of us that are doing this work and that's speaking about these things. And I'm hoping that other sisters will come and join us. And so we can really start to see a true shift, in our culture. So thank you for that work as well. Yeah.
Thank you. So what's your social media links?
Yeah.
Share.
Yeah, if your audience wants to get in touch with me, I'm on Facebook, Tamika Ellington, on Instagram, Dr. Tamika Ellington, on LinkedIn, Dr. Tamika Ellington. My website is drtamikaellington.com, and they can reach me there.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Make
yeah.
sure you check out her book coming release.
Yes, 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 yes,
Yes,
yes.
I love
Yeah,
it.
Black Hair in a White World is actually available for pre-order right now on Amazon and Barnes and Noble.
Okay, awesome. Well,
Yeah, yeah.
congratulations on your endeavors and thank you so much for the work that you're doing. And wow, this conversation is just it was so delicious for me and I'm excited
Thank you.
to have you again on our show. And thank you so much. It's great being with you.
Absolutely, Tammy. It was wonderful to talk to you.
If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to support the show, Please share it with others. Post about it on your social media. Leave a rating and review. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon.